I'm joined by Professor Dame Leslie Reagan today to talk about women's health and the importance of bringing women's voice from all over the world to the centre of research, education, and the treatment of women's health issues. Leslie is the Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology, former President of the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and the current Chair of the Wellbeing of Women charity.
Thank you for inviting me, Sasha.
So women's health hasn't received the voice it deserves, and women are experiencing health inequalities and outcomes that can be avoided. Can you tell us about these health challenges and what you would like to see change and how we can address these issues?
That's quite a big question. But I think that one of the things that I wanted to discuss was the fact that women have been, I think, disproportionately disadvantaged by the way that we've set up our health services. And for some people that may come as a bit of a surprise, because in many countries in the world, having a national health service free at the point of delivery must be something they've always dreamed of. But the vast majority of times when women go to health services, they're not ill. So when you go to have your problem period sorted out, you're not ill, you've got a problem you need help with. And when you're pregnant, you're not ill, but you need help to get the best outcome for you and your baby. And similarly, we know that there's very, very strong likelihood now of almost all of the women who are listening to this, that they will go through the menopause sometime around the age of about 50. And yet we do nothing to help them predict or understand what they can do to help themselves and have a good quality of life in their post-reproductive years. So I think it's all to do with moving from a disease intervention model to a predictable and preventative model so that we can actually stop problems happening. And I think that is a very attractive one, because not only is it going to improve the health and well-being of girls and women, not just in the UK, but everywhere else in the world, but it will invariably be much more cost-effective, effectively by placing women at the centre and then wrapping the services and around their needs, not just dictating what they should be doing. So make them part of the solution. I think that's the really important bit. Listen to what they need and make them part of the solution by helping them to access what they need and also educating them to understand what they need to go out and access for themselves.
How do we get women involved? How do we understand what they need in order to drive better health outcomes?
So I think one of the key ways to improve health for everybody is to improve education about health and healthy living and well-being. We've got to ensure that we understand what the problems are. And I won't do that sitting in my ivory tower teaching hospital. I've got to go out and talk to women about the problems that they're experiencing. And we have to talk to not just possibly the vocal few who will volunteer to be part of a survey or volunteer to join, a clinical trial or whatever. We need to talk to a real cross-section across society. We've got to talk to girls and women who are disadvantaged because they are living in minority groups, or they've got educational needs. Many, many thousands of girls and women across the country, across all of those divides, and they are starting to be listened to. And I think that is the best way we're going to have of addressing their needs and providing them with the solutions that they require.
Genpact is now partnering with Wellbeing of Women to provide social media listening capability so that we can listen to millions of conversations across different platforms. What does this mean for the future of women's health?
Well, Sasha, I think potentially it really changes the goalposts. It really means that we've got a much, much larger playing field. As you said, we can aim or we can aspire to hear the voices of millions, not just the hundreds of people that have been involved with Wellbeing of Women. And that's a very, very exciting thought, that we can really access much, much larger numbers of women, understand more about what they want and what they need, and also reaching out and actually getting to find those women who historically have been much harder to reach, so that we get a much broader and more diverse range of views from different socio-demographic backgrounds. Also, it's very important to frame all of this in the format of wanting to have a dialogue and a discussion with women about what they can do to maximise their health and the health of their families. I've always been a great believer in the carrot approach works much better than the stick. And I think one can, in this case, really share with women how incredibly beneficial it is for them to adopt healthier lifestyles, to pursue avenues that are going to help them and help their families have a healthier and a longer life.